Hello, Lynn Watts here. And today we're going to be talking about a pretty serious topic, and that is the topic of trauma. Unfortunately, I think more and more this is a topic that we as counselors really need to not only be aware of, but to really focus on and to develop an understanding of, and then, of course, develop some strategies for helping children who are traumatized, who go through traumatic situations, as well as finding ways to help each other and ourselves as counselors when there is trauma involved. So, first of all, I just want to talk about some common stressful situations that school counselors might encounter with children. But of course, all of these situations also have implications for any adults that are involved, whether that's ourselves as counselors or whether that's other staff members or parents of children. Adults, of course, are affected by stressful situations as well. So the first one, which has become extremely relevant currently, is weather related disasters. So if you live in the Southeast, you're very aware, I'm sure, of the a couple of hurricanes which have brought all kinds of devastation to the Southeast, in particular to Florida. And then again to the mountains of North Carolina, and then South Carolina and Georgia have also been affected by those same hurricanes. So not just hurricanes, of course, but tornadoes, any kind of severe weather event can leave children quite traumatized due to all kinds of situations, whether there was simply a lot of stress about that particular weather situation, or whether they lost their home or possessions, or potentially even the death of a family member or some other significant other. So, weather related disasters are certainly very high on the trauma list. The next one is death of a significant person for a child. And this could be due to some sort of illness, it could be a tragic accident. Of course, unfortunately, school shootings have caused students to experience a loss of classmates or friends. So, obviously, any kind of death, it can be a very traumatic situation for children. Um, the next one is any kind of community violence or crisis. So, any kind of major accident. I've already mentioned shootings, but any kind of violence can create a traumatic situation for anyone involved. And then finally, there is family or personal trauma, which of course is related to all the things that I've already talked about. But there are often personal or family trauma that the community, and in particular the school community, don't even know anything about. And children can be victims of all kinds of violence, abuse, domestic violence, that sort of thing. Perhaps there is a member of the family that is in prison or is in trouble with the law. Um, there can be a problem with finances, a problem with all kinds of material things, with food insecurity, lots of different ways that children can experience family or personal trauma. So all of these things are significant, and they're things that as counselors we simply need to keep in mind whenever we're working with someone, whenever there's any kind of behavior. We need to at least ask ourselves, is there a history of some sort of trauma that is causing this sort of behavior? In the next video, I will talk about some of the symptoms, and then finally, we'll discuss different strategies for working with children that have experienced stressful or traumatic situations. Thanks so much for listening.